Todd, you didn't have a lot of practice time leading up to this. Now you've had 2 days of practice. What kind of things do you look at today to work on for your team and sharpen up that you weren't able to do maybe in the previous 6 weeks?
Well, if we have a menu that's 2 pages long, really, when you don't have any practice time like we did for basically a month and a half. So over the Christmas break, we got together as a staff and threw up on the board areas of our game that we think are a priority to get after. And coming out of the Christmas break, our goals were, one, to get the guys up and running again and get their legs and minds back into it, but really concentrating on coming out of our end board work. I think we saw the fruits of our labor yesterday. We were pretty good along the wall against a heavy forecheck. So that helped. Today we talked about a few things in defensive zone coverage that we're going to need, particularly against Vancouver, we think. Every day is special teams day. Power play, penalty kill, some form of it. A lot of it is pieces that are worked on and then all put together. But we still have all areas of the ice to cover. A lot of face-off stuff is getting away on us right now that we have to work on, but we'll pick our poison as we go forward.
Yesterday morning, you talked about how you wanted to get 4 lines going. You had the young kids out with 2 minutes and 45 seconds. You really went 4 lines. Is it just because they were all going well, and is that something ideally you'd like to continue?
Well, it's interesting. I didn't go 4 lines. They went 4 lines. You know, that's a bit of a myth. The coach decides to only play 3 lines or 2 lines or whatever it is. No, the players decide that. We stand back and we watch them play, and if we feel like they're playing sharp and we can trust them, then we play the 4 lines. And I thought that Drake and Jesse had their best games in a long, long time. Benoit played as a veteran on that line. He did his thing, and maybe that's what he needs. I thought that line was very effective, so why not play them?
This team seems a lot more poised and more comfortable in one-goal games, which is good because you had a ton of them. Where's that coming from?
Well, I think that's one from leadership. We have some older players on our team now that have been in some stressful or important situations throughout their careers, and they can keep it calm. 2, the physical strength our team has now, the size. We can slow the scrums and the cycling down a little bit more, so the panic point's a little bit lower. Structure and belief system, we're getting a little bit better in those areas. But like any team, we'll have breakdowns, and that's where your goaltender comes into play, and he makes a big difference.
The first time 2 teams of winning streaks of 14 and 12 games have ever played each other is happening in Columbus.
Mini.
And it's between Mini and Columbus. What is that? 2 teams you wouldn't really think would be in that equation. What does that mean to you when you hear that?
Well, first of all, I think that is an indication that teams can evolve and change. And both of those teams, Minnesota and Columbus, have to the point where they're 1 or 2 in the league right now. And so that's a good sign for us because we're a growth and an evolving team. We can take and make note of what they're doing and how they're doing it. But I also think it's pretty promising for a number of teams in the league that, like us, that have struggled. It can happen. It doesn't necessarily happen fast, but it can happen, and it makes believers out of some of the teams that maybe haven't been as successful. It can happen.
Did you know Patrick Maroon's hands were that quick and good down low? We've seen him start, the move last night. That's something that he's using more regularly. Were you aware of his hands? Because he's basically got 19 goals in 53 games since coming over at the trade deadline.
We had a good idea he could handle the puck and had quick hands. And, you can have those tools, but you have to have the toolbox to know when to use it. And I think he's got that as well. And you don't play with Getzlaf and Perry as much as he did in Anaheim without having that. And, we're fortunate to have him here. He does a lot of things well for our team right now. And I think to add on to Rob's answer there, he's part of that leadership group that can calm things down.
And do you have an update on Andre?
Obviously still not skating. Not feeling well. Won't play tomorrow. As he gets better and gets skating again, we hope that he'll be part of the road trip somewhere. Doctors are making sure it's nothing contagious, but I think it's probably what a lot of you in here have had over the Christmas break.